Why are they worrying about things we can't see?
If you blended up Karl's brain and fed it to someone, would it make any difference?
No,
they wouldn't even notice, would they? You
put it into a leech would go, oh, I don't know what I was doing, I don't know what, where was I going?
I'm even more confused.
I don't know. Talking of leeches, did you see the dregs that they put into Big Brother last night?
I've not been watching it.
It's bad enough anyway, it's a house full of people you wouldn't cross the road to save, right?
Yeah.
But there's they've put in 3 more to spice it up a little bit. They've put in a low esteem model.
Sure.
Right? They've put in Mr. Bean, who is the whitest man I've ever seen. I mean, it's like a new race.
Yeah.
He's nearly see-through. And this thing that looks like Matt Lucas in a bikini.
Wow.
Unbelievable. The fat things on her back, I thought she was coming towards me.
Really?
It was unbelievable. And the first thing she said, she went in, she looked in the mirror, adjusted herself and went, oh, me minge!
Oh.
That's the level,
Do these people have relatives? Is there anyone in the world who knows them, claims to be a friend of theirs?
Families.
Do they have family there, or the family just moved away?
No, they're probably, their family are probably quite proud of them, because they're on the telly. It's probably like, saw your daughter last night saying, oh, me minge on the telly. Yes, she was on the telly, wasn't she? Yes, she was on the telly. What about the bit about oh, me minge? She got one out immediately, went, got it out, lobbed it out. I mean, it's unbelievable. It looks like an experiment.
I can't watch it anymore. It's just too much now. Because I can't relate to those people in the first series. I always remember it seemed like a genuine social experiment.
Yeah, exactly.
There was intrigue, there was drama.
Yeah.
It was genuinely great hypnotic television.
Now it's like putting ants in a jar and shaking it.
I don't know but even now, I couldn't watch that once a night, every week.
No, I know.
It's just...
It is unbelievable that what people are willing to do now on the title, because they've just put in people. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is. You don't care about anyone. But I suppose what's good is that I think you watch it now because you want one of them to fall over and hurt themselves.
Yeah, or just choke on a chicken bone. And no one else in the house knows the Heimlich maneuver.
That's a good idea, isn't it?
Yeah, feed him more chicken. Send in more roast chicken. So we got a wonderful celebration for you.
Pushing the Senses by Feeder on XFM. Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington. Alright? How you doing, Karl?
I'm alright, yeah.
Another holiday?
Well, it wasn't holiday. It wasn't holiday.
Well, it was. You had 5 days off work. Why isn't it holiday? You had 5 days not working for a living. You know how many days holiday gets a year now? 29.
Oh, that's more than teachers, isn't it?
It makes me sick. It makes me sick.
Well, I know the kind of hours you work, Rick. It's mad. I mean, if you're not in work by midday, you're furious.
No, but I mean, I'm always...
29's normal. For the normal working person.
Yeah, but, you know...
And anyway, it wasn't a proper holiday. I went to see my mum and dad. It's nice to see them and everything, but it's not holiday, is it?
Why?
It's not going away. It's not getting on a plane, is it? Going away.
Oh, is that definitely a holiday? What happened before 1950?
I don't know.
Who used to go... Yeah, exactly. People used to go to Blackpool or Brighton. That was holiday.
Yeah, but I didn't
Where did you go?
Went to Wales.
There you go. Lovely holiday. Lovely holiday. Have a holiday in Wales. That's what they say, innit? Come to Wales and have a holiday. That's what they say, innit? But, so, come to Wales and meet your parents. Come to Wales and have a little holiday.
Right. Well, anyway, it was good and that. It's always good to see him.
Yeah.
But,
week off work.
Do you know, like, my mum likes gnomes and stuff?
Yeah.
Right,
of course she does. She's lived with one for 30 years.
She said, you know, get your dad to take us to this park where they've got, like, you know, 6-foot gnomes and stuff, right? Have a walk about.
That sounds like a nightmare. Yeah. It sounds like a living nightmare.
Keep an eye on Karl.
So anyway.
He stood still for 2 minutes, someone bought him.
No, you can't buy them and that. It's like a little exhibition thing, right? And it's part of a hall, right? This big hall that you have to pay to get in, but we didn't want to see the hall, I just wanted to see the gnomes.
Of course you did, yeah.
So anyway, my dad says, yeah, well, we can get in there for free.
Of course he did. Clever.
Right? So we parked up on this little country lane, right? No one about. We
How much is it to go in? Like £2?
About £3 each.
Yeah.
But he said, well, yeah, but if you don't have to pay, do you know what I mean? You enjoy it even more, don't you, when you're walking about and you think, I've got this £3 in my pocket, no one's having it.
Yeah.
Right?
No, looking over shoulder for a bloke with a peak hat saying, can I see your ticket, please? I wouldn't enjoy it more, no. Go on.
Yeah, but you don't worry about it. do
You got a bit of money now then, Rick. You know, you've changed.
So anyway, so we had to walk across about 4 fields.
For 3 quid!
Right, and what happened was, we're walking through all these fields and what have you, big grass and muddy bits and all that, 'cause it'd been raining, and climbing over fences and stuff. And we're in this field, right, and I look to my right, and there's about 30 cows all staring at us, right? And Suzanne started to panic a bit. She said, we shouldn't be here. Dad says, of course we can, we're allowed to go wherever we want, you know, all this land, it's, you know, it's Ramblers' rights and all that stuff.
Yeah. And so you can take a cow if you want, unattended.
So,
Serves him right for leaving him in the field unattended. I'm having one.
Yeah.
So keep us fed for a week.
across. Anyway, these cows start surrounding us.
Surrounding us.
And,
oh, brilliant.
Oh no.
Face off.
and Suzanne's panicking, going, this isn't right, we're not gonna make it to the fence in time. They're moving faster than us, and they started sort of running a bit.
Wow.
And,
It's like
Dad
some
was
kind of bovine West Side Story.
don't,
A gang of cows coming at you.
don't worry about it and stuff. But, my dad had to sort of stand there and, like, wave a stick at him.
Of course.
And we got away, but Suzanne was, like, having a bit of a sweat
You
on,
got away.
and saying, you know, we could have got killed.
Sure.
And my dad saying, nah, it never happens. And I just wondered if it does, if there's a risk of...
Yeah, it is rare, but there's been a couple of cases of being trampled by cows. They're not aggressive, they sort of run through you. Well, they're aggressive if they've got a calf.
They do have kids.
What?
They had kids with them.
Kids, yeah. That's goats you're thinking of. Yeah.
Maybe they were trying to sneak into the gnome thing, and they were worried that, like, if too many people did it, like, they've got some cows, we can just sneak in
They
where
were
cows,
trying, yeah.
no one's expecting
And
cows.
the cows
but
were
some
going,
humans.
walk upright like you're a human. Don't walk upright.
They thought you'd blow their cover.
Yeah. Yeah, people have been killed by cows before.
Yeah, that was like the highlight, and then,
So when you arrived there, you were presumably covered in mud, looking like something that had just come from Glastonbury, staggering around this
it
exhibition.
wasn't that bad, it was just like a woods, and it had like a funny sort of funeral, like a graveyard thing.
Right.
With bodies sort of hanging out the ground and that, and, we had
What?
these 6-foot gnomes.
Right.
And then we just set off again, walked back. But we
You
didn't
sure
have to
this
go to
wasn't
the
a
field.
dream?
No, it was good. But then I got back, right, Steve, and, called up Ricky, I said, right, you know, are you about? Have a chat and that. So he said, oh, I'll just come round, it's a nice day. Have a drink and what have you. So I got round there at about 6:30, right? Go up to his door, knock on his door, right? He stood there with his tackle out.
Yeah, and what did you make of that? What was wrong with that?
What do you mean, what's wrong with that?
Why were you looking at it? Why were you looking at it?
I tried not to look at it. But again, you're always sort of attracted to it, aren't you? Kind of like,
I've never been attracted to another man's tackle. I don't know what you mean.
you can't help but have a little sly look. Especially when it's there. When you ring the bell, and I mean the one on the door, right? And that's hanging out.
And does he dress to the left or the right?
It was to the left, right?
Yeah, it was left, yeah. Just popped out of my shorts. For him. Just popped him out of the shorts.
Should have seen the state of him. Shorts on, no top, cigar. Looked like someone out of The Sopranos. It was a mess.
Yeah.
And then,
we sat on the balcony drinking wine, didn't we?
Did you pop it back in, or was it still
Yeah, I
out?
popped it straight back in. I've got the laugh.
Sure.
I've got the laugh that
Yeah.
I wanted.
Yeah.
He walked in, he went, it's not that hot. Straight away. It's not that hot. Oh, brilliant.
And,
was that knob news, or is there more?
no, it's got more knob news.
That's just a
coming.
taster.
Just a taste.
Listen, let's play some adverts, let's play some great music, and maybe we should have some early knob news.
Early knob news coming up.
Harry from Canterbury wants to know whether any of us have ever had any cruel nicknames. He claims that he's quite tall and rather hirsute, and he says he's often called Lurch or Wolfie. He's always thought that Karl looks a bit like Mr. Potato Head.
Yeah. No, there's no potato that round, but I suppose you could fashion a potato to be that round.
Yeah.
Maybe we could, if anyone can carve a potato into the roundest head ever, pop a couple of eyes on it.
Make it look as much like Karl as possible.
Exactly.
But yeah, any nicknames? Did you ever have a nickname, Rick?
No, mine was boring. I didn't have any. It was just around the name, like Jerv or something like that. No, I didn't have nicknames.
I always wanted a nickname. I just thought it was quite cool for some reason, particularly because gangsters always seem to have nicknames. You
Lefty.
know, Fingers,
Yeah.
Lefty, yeah. Scarface.
Yeah.
And so I decided that I thought, because no one was giving me a nickname at school, it was kind of annoying, or certainly not to my face,
Yeah.
that I decided to just come up with one.
Yeah.
And so I remember I was at lunch once, and I just said to my mate Phil,
How old were you?
12, 13.
Brilliant.
I just said to him, Phil, don't know if you know, mate, but people aren't calling me Steve anymore. Everyone's calling me Spud now. Now, I don't know why I thought Spud. It's weird, we should talk about Mr. Potato. I don't know why I thought Spud was a cool nickname. I think
It's a grown-up name, though, isn't it?
and it's also because I think it sounded like it was probably either something that you'd find in one of those kids' books, like the Famous Five, or like the Bash Street Kids. There'd be Spud, and I always imagine with Spud, he's not the leader of the gang, but he's a reliable member.
I think
You know what I mean?
Spud is the biggest lorry driver in one particular sort of car park.
Yeah.
And here comes Spud.
Yeah.
And he gets out, all right, boys. And he's big and massive. And Spud can eat 2 breakfasts.
Exactly, yeah. But I just, in my mind, it was, that I would be one day part of a gang, and I'm Pinky, this is Jojo, and the tall guy's Spud.
And you didn't catch
it
on,
never
did it?
really caught. And he just went, oh yeah, right. And no one started, and I was hoping he'd go, everyone's calling Steve Spud.
Yeah.
But of course-
Hey, Spud. The first time I said Spud, you go, what?
Yeah, exactly.
You'd be really proud, wouldn't you? No.
Did you have a nickname?
Not really. I mean, there was a lot of people on the estate that I grew up on. Nicknames are big things on estates and that.
Yeah.
A lot of my dad's mates, right? What their nicknames did was tell you about them. Do you know how I said about the Elephant Man's a good name?
Yeah.
Because, you know what you're going to get. If someone said, Elephant Man's popping around in a bit, it wouldn't be a shock when he walked in.
Yeah.
Right? So it worked in that sort of thing. So there was John the Screw, right?
John the Screw?
Yeah.
Well, he had sex a lot, or he worked in a prison?
No, he had a DIY shop. so you had him, right? There was Fred the Veg,
Yeah.
which is
I assume it's because he was at the same IQ as you.
Or he was in a coma.
Yeah.
Right.
There was my uncle Tattoo Stan.
All right.
Yeah, he had like loads of tattoos that he'd just done himself.
Oh my
Right.
God.
The problem was, because he did his tattoos himself, the ones on his left arm were really good. Because he was right-handed. On his right hand, rubbish. Right? So there was him.
Great.
And there was Jimmy the Hat.
Jimmy the Hat.
Yeah.
Did he always wear a hat?
No, he didn't. That was the point there. That he never wore a hat.
That's amazing.
Brilliant.
How can you pick up on someone never wearing a hat? How would you ever notice? I'll tell you what, I've noticed something about Jimmy. What?
Go on.
He doesn't wear a hat. Why was he not called Jimmy the Parrot? Because he never carries a parrot.
No, that's just the way. I mean, that's how they work in it. I mean,
Here comes Jimmy 3 legs. Why'd you call him that? He hasn't got 3 legs.
I didn't really have one apart from I had a CB. Like when you'd go on a CB radio and have a chat to people.
Oh, this was a craze in the was it late 70s, early 80s?
Sort of early 80s.
And it was just short band radio, wasn't it? Everyone had these little handsets and they'd speak to each other in the sort of local area.
Yeah, it was mainly. I think it started off with like
Lorry
truckers
drivers,
and
isn't it? Yeah, truckers. Yeah, because there was that thing from like about 1977.
Convoy.
It was Convoy. Yeah.
Yeah, so I had one of them, and the handle. I had 2
Handle
different
mean
names.
is your nickname. Your
Yeah,
name.
there's loads of code stuff.
Yeah.
I had a couple. I had there was Pilkey 01, because
Right.
like I say, there's a lot of Pilkingtons and that in Manchester. So if someone wants Pilkey 02, it's open. Do you know what I mean? They can have it. And then
Like it's people scrabbling. I want a Pilkey one.
and then because I did boxing and that,
Well, you did it once.
Yeah.
I'd Boxer Boy, because I thought that's quite a good image as well. That's kind of like people going, oh, don't mess with him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If he asks what your handle is, tell him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Boxer Boy and that.
Yeah.
So just had them 2, and I used to just go on there and.
Pointless. What is the point of this?
Well, you just meet people, don't you?
And you
So-
don't meet people. You say, "What's your handle?" They go, "Box Boy." What's yours? Rubber duck. All right, cheers.
No,
It's
but
ridiculous.
then you'll say then you go, oh, what's your 20?
What's that mean?
That's where are you?
Well, why don't you say, "Where are you?"
Because just in case there's someone who's listening in who you hear about this all the time, don't you? People listening, jotting stuff down.
Oh, right. So, just in case someone in the world doesn't know what handle means, they're out of the loop. They're out of the loop.
It's not a difficult code to crack, is it? If
Yeah.
you're trying to track someone.
It's hardly the head of the mafia talking to each other because the FBI are on the wire. It's ridiculous. Like, I go, oh, he keeps saying that, what's your handle? And they come back with something else. I can't work out what's going on.
No, it's like anything, isn't it? That's what codes are all about, isn't it? You set them up and that.
Go on and tell me the code then.
Reveal at long last to the world what
Yeah.
these codes are.
Right, so
Yeah.
what's your 20? Where are you?
This is better than the Enigma.
Yeah.
Right, now here we go.
Right.
How many candles are you burning?
Does that mean how big's your car or something like that? Horsepower or something?
See? No, that's
Oh,
how old
what
are you?
time is it?
No, how old are you?
What? How old are you? Okay.
Right.
Right.
How many candles are you burning? Of course.
Yeah.
So what's the answer? Come back.
You go,
I'm 15.
14.
Brilliant. That code. There's no one gonna work that out. I wish you'd have kept a diary of this because this has been fascinating.
Now and again, someone will come in and go, side on, right?
What's that mean?
And that means, like, there's someone sat there listening into this chat and going, this sounds interesting.
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
Unlikely.
Yeah.
And they want to join in, so they sort of go side on, you go side on, bring it in, right? And they go, all right.
How many candles are you burning?
Yeah. What's your 20?
That's it goes round again.
Yeah.
See you later. What's your 20? How many candles are you burning?
Oh.
And, I mean, it seems to me that what you should have done is made a note the first time, so that when you then speak to them again, you don't need to ask them those questions. Can I just confirm that you're burning 15? It's that time again. Do the jingle.
Okay. I'm gonna do a really good one.
Okay, go.
Okay. Oh, chimpanzee! That monkey news. Yeah.
Right, do you know it's nearly time for the Winter Olympics again?
Okay.
Is it? Okay.
They sort of come round every 4 years.
Is it this year? Is it?
Yeah. And the last one that happened,
4 years ago. Yeah.
there was a bit of an incident.
Oh no. Do you remember any winners that were monkeys in any of the
No,
tournaments?
of course not.
No.
So
It's not
anyway,
going to be that because it wouldn't be true. Go
Oh,
on.
yeah.
so anyway, one of the popular events, bobsleigh.
Okay. Right.
You know how it works.
Well, you
It's
need
like a
4
sleigh.
men. Is it 4 men or 5
4 men.
It's 4. So it's definitely 4 men that you need
Need
on
four
a
men.
bobsleigh team.
Is it and two? And there's 2 team bobsleighs.
But they're always men. Is that right, Rick? Just clarify. With the Winter Olympics, you can't have any animals taking part.
No, and they also no, because they wouldn't be allowed. And 2, there's no way they could disguise it because not only would they see it straight away, right, but they have blood tests,
Right. Okay. So,
which would show up.
so they definitely know if it was
Well, they have
any
blood
kind of
tests.
non-human.
It's impossible. It would be literally impossible to have anything other than a human
Taking
involved
part.
in a bobsleigh team.
Fine. Okay. So carry on.
So anyway, the country was doing really well in the qualifying stages.
Oh, yeah.
But the problem was there was like 2 members who were getting all like the press and stuff.
Oh right, yeah.
Anyway, so this one member was getting fed up because the other 2 were getting all the press and what have you. So he said, I'm not happy with this.
Yeah.
I'm jacking it in. So they were like, you're joking, we've qualified, we're getting into like the main race and everything. You can't leave us now. And he said, well, you could do it all on your own before, you know, the way you were acting like you didn't need me, so I'm going. So the clock's ticking, it's getting close to the big race and everything.
Of course it is. Yeah.
They're like, what are we going to do here?
The substitute
Right?
they took with them.
What are they
Well,
going
they
to
must
do?
have.
Yeah, they would take the substitute. So get
No,
him
they
on.
didn't have any of them and that. It's,
What?
you know, a lot of injuries and stuff.
Well, just get a mate to do it. Just get a mate or a friend
mate,
or the coach to do it. Yeah.
But, you know, there's a lot of responsibility on these people and, you know, you won't want to let your country down and that. And they were like, what are we going to do?
Get a waiter or anyone. in the
Anyway,
hotel.
the time comes to the race. Seems to be 3 people on it.
There appears to be 3. Okay. Yeah.
They start off, they're whizzing around the track faster than normal. They're beating their old records
Right. Amazing.
because the new fella they've got a little bit smaller. Right?
Is he in?
So
Is he in the bobsleigh? Or is he pushing?
He's in it.
Oh, right, okay.
Right?
He's wearing a uniform and a helmet. Though we
He's
can't
got
see what he
helmet
looks like.
on.
We
He's
can't
got
see
the
his
kit
face.
on.
Can't see his face.
Nobody knows who he is, but the
course they do.
country's loving it.
course they
They're
do.
like, well, it looks like we're going to break all our records. You know, good. It's good that they found someone new.
Yeah.
Bet the other fella who left, he's sort of kicking himself, thinking, oh, I could have been part of this. Anyway,
This wasn't that bloke that had very short legs and long arms, was it?
what happened is they're whizzing round the track and what have you,
Faster than ever. Yeah.
faster than ever, and the press are like going, beating all records here. They started taking photographs. A lot of flashes from the cameras and stuff.
Right. Of course.
Suddenly, the bobsleigh goes a bit sort of mental and whizzes off the track. Ambulance comes rushing over and stuff. The other 2 members are looking pretty nervous for some reason.
Oh, what are they doing?
They're saying, look, don't take the helmet off because, you know, you can do more damage to the
Well,
neck.
don't tell the paramedics how to do it.
They know their job.
Yeah,
they know their job.
yeah.
So they were
Please.
like, just you know, and plus, you know, he came in at last minute to help us out. He doesn't want everyone to know who he is. He's not after the limelight, like some of the members we used to have. But he just was helping his country out.
Yeah.
Leave the helmet on. Anyway, they get him in the ambulance and stuff. The other two are looking a bit worried and what have you. They're gutted. They lost the race.
The little bloke, is the bloke not saying anything? Is he not?
He's in the ambulance now.
Is he not saying anything though?
Anyway, word reported that one of the ambulance drivers said that on that sort of dreadful night when, you know, the country lost out on a medal in the bobsleigh, he sort of reported that there was a monkey in the back of the ambulance. People were like going, you're joking,
I don't
aren't
remember
you?
this. I don't remember this.
They're not- well, this is it, you see, because they sort of swept it under the carpet a little bit.
right.
They were like, this is crazy talk.
Bullshit.
This is crazy talk.
Once talk. Absolute shit. Where'd you get this from?
This is crazy talk, right?
It is crazy talk, and it's from the mouth of Karl Pilkington.
But the weird thing is that backed it up. Following week, there was a story of some people who visited the zoo saw a chimp in a neck brace. And that's this week's Monkey News.
Saying that, have you come up with anything for this week?
What's the prizes?
I'll read out the prizes. We've got a brand new XFM, a stylish XFM DJ bag.
That is actually quite nice,
Yeah,
actually.
we've got in there a 12-inch from the XFM Remix album. This has got The Cure on there and the Prodigy remixes from them, which is quite handy. We've got a little mouse mat there with the XFM logo on, and here's what everyone's waiting for, the CDs and DVDs. Once again, the X list. This is the compilation that XFM have put out. It's actually very good. Smash Hits, the reunion. Let me see what we got on there. Aha, obviously, Wham, Duran Duran, all your favourite 80s and 90s classics. Another copy of DVD, Steve Coogan's Run DVD. What else is this here? Low Fidelity All Stars, blah, blah, blah. There's Voodoo House and Ghost Funk on there, Rick. I'm sure that'd be right up your street. And also on DVD, Man
Is that
Child.
with or without Wrecked Train?
So yeah, not a bad little selection there, Carl.
Yeah, you've done well there.
You've done well.
So go on and do the clues then. Let's do Rockbusters now.
Well, I'll bung a song on.
And wow, yeah.
I love the fact that he was taking the piss out of your voice. I'll bung a song on. Hey, tripe and cow wheels tonight. Not as griddling as gravy.
To be honest, Carl, let's be honest, if Ricky Gervais can get voiceover work,
Do you know what I
there's
mean?
got to be a place for me.
Where do you think the place for him is?
Well, look, right, you were talking about your face on the poster. It's not all bad, because I read something last night that can help you out. Right? And it's amazing. So we're talking about that.
Play a record, Carl.
Warren Zevon ain't that pretty at all on XFM.
104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Right, Carl, calm now. The Sonys, they're listening. We've got to win this award. We're just bickering. Right, what's this thing that can help Steve out? What are you talking about?
No, we'll talk about that in a bit.
What are we doing now?
We'll do Rockbusters, get that up and running.
Yes, sir.
Get the email busy.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Right.
okay. Go on then.
Right, so, you know how it works. Cryptic clues, initials.
Well, as I
you've
say,
worked
every week, they're not strictly cryptic. It's more, what am I thinking that starts with these letters?
Is
Sometimes.
craptic a word? Is that a word? Craptic? Because...
Oh.
Anyway.
Oh, God.
So last week, one of them was, these people from the East Midlands can't help swearing.
Yeah, Tourette's Trent Derby.
Tourette's Trent
That's
D'Arby.
the sort of shite we're dealing with to try and get a Sony.
Right, so, here's the clues and that. First one.
And that. What are we after here? The artist?
Yeah,
The band name or solo artist?
it's, I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay.
Right.
Go on.
So the first one, the hitchhiker needs a lift, but in something bigger than a car.
Go on then, what's the initials?
VH, right? The hitchhiker needs a lift, but in something bigger than a car,
Yeah.
right? Second one, don't be selfish, hand some of it out to your mates.
Right.
The initial there is C, right?
Yeah.
Don't be selfish, hand some of it out to your mates. And the
Sure,
third
that's
one,
not what is Karl. He's selfish.
no,
Begins with C.
right? And the third one, the Scottish fellas can't get into their emails.
Right, okay.
The Scottish fellas can't get into their emails.
Go on then.
Right, the initials there, KL. Right, so quickly again, the hitchhiker needs a lift, but in something bigger than a car, VH.
Yeah.
Don't be selfish, hand some of that out to your mates,
Right.
C.
This is your last chance, Karl.
and the Scottish fellas can't get into their emails.
If I hear
KL.
anything like Wet Knee Houston, or D Trout Spinners, or Tourette's Trent D'Arby coming out of this, we're never doing it again. Okay? Right.
Right, Rockbusters, that's what I'm thinking.
Straight to it! Straight to it. Go on then, who's the winner?
Right,
I've got to
well-
do the clues again.
Right, the first one was, the hitchhiker needs a lift, but in something bigger than a car.
Yeah, snappy, go on.
VH.
Yeah.
Right, that was Van Halen,
Van Halen, Halen a van.
because he wanted something bigger than a car, that's the first one.
Yeah.
All the
Second one.
tenses are mixed up, everything, it's just, go on.
Second one, don't be selfish, hand some of that out to your mates, that was C, that was share. Alright. It's alright.
Yep.
And the third one, the Scottish fellas can't get into their emails, the initials there, KL, they, Kenny logins.
Right. That's the last time we do Blockbusters. That is the last time we do it.
No.
It is. That's the last time. Give the prize to someone.
Kenny Loggins.
Have you got monkey news for this week?
Don't know if I want to do it this week. So, just 'cause breakfast do it and that, and just leave it maybe this week. See what happens. See if we need it. We'll see.
Sometimes I don't know. Play a record a minute, Carl. I'll talk to you off air. Play a record.
Or what?
What's the email address again?
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
Okay.
Right, that's where the email the answer's in.
So we've got to remind you whose show it is. Play a record.
Right.
Stop My Head, Ivan Dando on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, and with me, arguing like nutters, are Steve Merchant and Karl Pilkington. Okay, alright? Calm down. Right.
Right, let's just chill. Let's just
Okay.
chill.
Yeah, right.
What did you do last night, Rick?
I watched I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I tried last week, I knew Tufnell was gonna come through. I knew he was. I went to put a bet on, and it was 11-4, and I thought, oh, that's not worth it. I could put on 400 quid, and I reckon I'd have won 1100, because I reckon he's gonna win.
Yeah.
So,
That is annoying. I suppose if you could go back in time, you'd probably change things. Do you know what I'd do if I could go back in time? I'd go back in time, stop Hitler from being born.
But then it might be worse, because someone else might have come along and he'd been even better. It's like a novel.
Yeah, you're
Like
right.
Ben Alton would write a novel
Yeah.
like that or something, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, how things would be different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I popped to the cinema last night, and it was a joy of an experience because for the
What'd you
first
see?
time I went to see X-Men 2. I enjoyed
I
it
want
a
to see
lot.
that.
Yeah,
I
really
saw
good fun.
one. I don't like that sort of thing. I've never been a comic book, never been a geek like yourself. Not yourself, but I mean, you're not a geek in that sense. You're different. I mean,
Not in
you,
the traditional sense.
No,
I'm one of those sexier geeks. Those
Yeah.
modern sexy geeks.
yeah. But I really enjoyed it, and 2's meant to be even better, isn't it?
I really enjoyed it, yeah,
Oh,
it's
excellent.
good fun. But but more so than the film was the fact that the actual cinema experience, for the first time in a long time, I actually enjoyed, because I just had
Honestly.
such a problem with the cinema.
Well, I can't go. I have to wait about 3 weeks till it dies down and go in the afternoon. I can't be sat next to people. I don't know why people go to the cinema to eat. Have something before you go in there.
Yeah.
Rattling, crunching. Why is this experience? This film has cost £50 million. It's meant to be an emotional, artistic experience. It's not meant to be something that's on while you're chowing down. I
Yeah.
don't know. But people leave their mobile on. I want, when someone answers it, go, I can't talk now. I want to go only smack them on their face with it.
Yeah. No, well, I went to the cinema a while back to see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon,
Oh yeah.
that art house film, and woman sat next to me, huge fat blubber of a woman.
But it's up to her. She's earned enough money. She can eat more than she needs.
Sure, but don't squeeze into a seat next to me in the cinema, right, with your flesh, you know, curving over the armrest that we're having to share.
Oh,
right,
God.
next to her, a little weasel of a husband. She's got one of those huge, kind of,
you don't reckon it was-
hog-sized barrels of popcorn.
You don't reckon he was one of them feeders?
It was very similar. It really
Oh.
was. She, as you say, she's chowing down on the popcorn. She's one of those women who, she's not come out to see a film. She's come out to eat, and if a film happens
Yeah.
to be showing, then she'll watch it.
Yeah.
Really winds me up. He's got the hot dog and everything. She's eating, and now popcorn already annoys me because
And
I
she
don't-
goes to him, "Are you gonna eat that?" He goes, "Well, I was thinking of it. Look at me to me. Look at me now."
But I don't know why it was that popcorn became the thing you eat in the cinema. It's like you say, you've made these films, and someone's there thinking, well, we've made this great film, we've got the sound mix right, but what we need is something something that'll just slightly irritate everyone during the film.
And to see the
crunch of
size, to
popcorn.
see the size of the buckets they go in their popcorn.
But
And
why not serve soup or something? Or
Oh,
yogurt?
the slurping would drive me mad.
But
And the
something where it's not
spoon
gonna make
touching
the
the
noise.
bottom of the thing would drive me mad. Don't serve anything. There's no reason you have to do this and go, oh god, I need to eat.
Well, this
eat,
was-
plan it. You don't go and play tennis eating what, you plan it, don't you?
Well,
What-
exactly. Exactly. Eat before we come out.
Yeah.
Have a sandwich. Have a corned beef
Do you
sandwich.
know what,
then come out.
right? What annoyed me is I found out across America when they showed Schindler's List, they banned popcorn, right? Out of respect to the film. What? So they're saying all the other films, oh, sod it,
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Well, this one cost 100 million. Ah, it doesn't matter. You can eat popcorn through that.
Yeah.
I mean, ban it through all films.
Well, this woman was one of those ones, she may as well have had a trough in front of her. I mean, she was a state, right?
Oh,
and she's
God.
She's an idiot as well. Because the trailer comes from, I remember at the time, the trailer came on for AI, that film AI.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it, but it's something like, I don't know exactly, but it's something like, Martin is a, 6-year-old boy.
Yeah, he's 20 kilograms, he's 3 foot high, yeah.
But he is not human.
Yeah.
He's a robot.
Yeah.
And she's watching, she's just watching that, right? Bear in mind, the point of the trailer, he's a robot.
Yeah.
She says, how old was he again? I wanted to slap her, I was livid. I went, he's a robot. He's a robot, that's what's important. She says, a trailer comes on for a war film, she goes, I shan't be seeing that. She just announces it, I shan't be seeing that. And I'm bored with war films. Bored with them. Next.
Oh, God.
And then, so the title card comes up for Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. You know, like at the beginning, they do everything.
Yeah.
It comes up, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Now, she's in the cinema, she goes, what a stupid name for a film. I was thinking, but you paid to see it. And then it says subtitles in brackets. She goes, oh, it's not subtitled, is it? So it comes on, and I think, in the film, I think they speak maybe Mandarin or Chinese or something, I'm not sure, but let's say it's Mandarin. So they come on, they start, and it's all subtitled, and they start speaking in this Mandarin or Chinese, and, she just starts going, I think cheng chong, I think cheng chong, I think cheng chong, in the cinema, just saying that out loud.
No.
She and her boyfriend are cracking up, they're weeping with laughter, right? And I'm trying
He's
to watch
got to
this
laugh,
film.
otherwise she bites him.
Exactly. So I'm so livid, so I really make a show of getting up with all my stuff. I get up and I kind of clamber over some of the seats.
Yeah.
I sit down next to these 2 teenage girls with the mobile phone.
Oh,
The mobile phone goes off, and like you say, instead of, I mean, it should have been off anyway.
Yeah, of course.
But let's say, instead of it being, instead of immediately thinking, oh god, and switching it off hurriedly, they take the call in the cinema. I'm in the cinema. Yeah, no, I'm in the, start having a conversation. And I was thinking to myself, you're 16, unless that is your business partner in Hong Kong phoning you, saying the deal is not gonna go through, which I suspect it's not. I suspect it's probably Gareth, or Gavin, or your boyfriend Tony saying, do you want to do me behind the bike sheds later? I suspect that's who it is.
Yeah.
Switch off the phone! Or at very least, get out!
I know.
Get out of the cinema! But I can't, I mean, I don't know where these people were brought up.
Foo Fighters, Best of You on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve Merchant, and Karl Pilkington. Alright? Carl's had a bad week, I'm gonna say that straight away. He tries to rule out stress in his life, but he's had a bit too much stress this week, haven't you? One, a phone call from his mum, stressed him a little bit.
Right.
Something he said in a magazine about his auntie, came back to haunt him.
Auntie Nora?
Auntie Nora, yeah.
Don't name her.
Oh,
She knows who she is.
No. Okay, we won't name her, right? We'll just say it's the one who farted for 5 minutes, and as he sort of saw a skirt when he was young, and I found it like a split tennis
So
ball.
it could be any of me aunties.
We're that coming up, and also a bloke in Times Online, Chris Campling, did a review of the show,
Right.
and basically said that Karl Pilkington is a creation of Gervais and Merchant.
Well, if only that were the case.
He said he started off saying he liked the show.
Yeah.
He was excited. Said it was a good show. A lot of the jokes.
I'm already questioning his critical faculties.
Yeah, exactly. And basically said that we didn't contribute much, or seemingly didn't seem to contribute much, and we couldn't sort of like ad lib or anything. We just laughed at, particularly me, laughed at Karl Pilkington, who was coming up with some, you know, quite funny stuff. Right? But then he does a twist on it. He goes, but the thing is, we're the puppet masters. He's a created person. We've created the persona Karl Pilkington for our own amusement.
Right.
He bases this on simply that we talked about, what was it we talked about? the Chinese not aging well, and he heard him talk about that on my DVD. But clearly, I say, Karl, remember when you were talking like that? It's a news, or remember in the week, and so he thinks it's all scripted now. Imagine if this show was scripted.
I'd be ashamed.
Yeah.
If this show was scripted, I would send back the BAFTAs for the shows the actual shows we've written, and I would say...
I'm not having a go at Chris Campling. He's nice about our other work. He likes The Office, and he likes my stand-up and everything, and he likes the show, but he's saying... Because we're not spontaneous, we scripted this and invented Karl. So he's like, you know, we've invented another Gareth.
If we had created Karl, I would not have squandered a character that good on this poxy radio station.
Absolutely. Also, does he know that we spend about 3 months on half-an-hour script? So how long does 2 hours of dribble? But the main thing is, as if this could be scripted, it's dreadful.
It's shocking.
Or maybe this is scripted.
Hang on, you've lost me now. Let me just check the script.
Maybe Chris Campling does not exist. Maybe I've made him up.
I don't know what to believe.
See, the name doesn't wash with me.
What was his name?
Chris Campling.
Sounds odd.
That's something that I made up, isn't it?
Campling's almost like a joke. It's almost like a gay name, isn't it? Or is it Campling?
See, I think this is scripted.
Yeah.
I think I've probably made this whole link up, and Karl is a creation. Campling, that's not a real name. I should have come up with something better.
Yeah.
Sorry. Down to the River by Bruce Springsteen on XFM 104.9. So, yeah, that little fella in the Times thought Karl was just a puppet. We created him. He's an actor. What's his actor's name? Brent Hogwell. we got him from Spotlight. Brent Hogwell.
This stupid, dopey Mancunian accent, he just puts that on every week.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, he speaks rather like Hugh Grant.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, we just got this whole world around him, we set a whole... What do you think about that?
He had his head shaved, essentially.
Exactly, yeah.
So yeah, would he think that, you know, maybe if he's looked online, see me head, and he's noticed how round it is and that, does he think it's sort of been, you know, morphed into that shape just for the show, just for 2 hours on a Saturday?
Yeah. You would spend 5 hours in prosthetic makeup like John Hurt in The Elephant Man.
Everything about him was made up.
Yeah.
We created him, we created... Oh, because I remember coming up with Auntie Nora.
Oh, yeah.
You said, Rick, we need another character. I said, what about giving him an Auntie Nora?
Doesn't sound convincing, I said.
Yeah, and you said, what is it about? I said, well, I don't know, she farted for 5 minutes and she's got a fanny like a split tennis ball.
No one's gonna believe that.
Yeah. Oh, that brings us neatly. Well, let's put that to bed now. So, Chris Campling, honestly, we do not script this shambles of a show, and Karl Pilkington really is like this. If you want, you can meet him. I'd love to send Karl for a drink with Chris Campling. Can we do that? And then he'll eat his words. Chris, if you're listening, honestly, this isn't a stitch-up. As I say, I'm not having a go at you. It's a very well-written article. It's very, very fair.
You're just complimenting on his grammar.
Yeah.
It's a very well-written article.
No, I'm saying we're not having a go.
You've typed that beautifully.
It's not like he slagged us off. I would just love him to meet Karl Pilkington. People in the street come up to me and say, is Karl like that? And I so want them to meet him.
Yeah.
Or maybe he can send in, if he's online, he can send in 5 subjects for Karl to talk about that we couldn't possibly know about. Just so he knows that we just really do throw things at Karl, and that drivel comes out. Imagine if it was scripted. But anyway, so Chris Campling, or anyone who knows Chris online, get him to email us, and with 5 subjects that Karl can talk about. That's a good idea, isn't it, Karl?
It is like, I'm the Elephant Man the way I'm being treated now. Just sort of like...
I scripted that. I wrote that joke last night.
Are you sure?
Or was it yours?
I don't know,
Karl enters and says, I'm like the Elephant Man.
Hang on, let me just check the credits on the script.
I'll tell you what though, Steve, I found out about the Elephant Man. I was talking to Ricky.
What?
You know, the only bit that was normal on it.
Oh yeah, no, it was in the film. You know the bit in the film, I was watching it one day, it was on, and I said, look, your favourite film's on. And it came to the bit where, he was being exhibited, and he was naked behind the screen to all the doctors. Go on, what did you say? And there's a bit where he goes, and strangely, the only thing that is normal are his genitals. They're untouched by this disease. They are totally normal. Right, what did you say?
It's a bit annoying, isn't it? It's like the only bit that you'd want as an elephant.
The only bit you'd want that
was like an elephant. Yeah, no, I can see that.
and he got the head. So other stressful things.
But so anyway, what's the Auntie Nora thing? Sorry, Auntie-X.
Auntie-X.
What did she, why is she upset?
Well, he mentioned her in Zoo. He did this thing for Zoo magazine, and he mentioned about when he looked up her dress, she had a...
by accident, remember?
No, it does not suggest You were going around looking up your elderly relatives' dresses in case they weren't wearing...
For people who've not heard Karl talk about this in the past,
Yeah.
just explain quickly again what we're talking about.
Right.
He didn't want to talk about it at all.
When I was a kid, right, Auntie Nora used to come round. My auntie used to come round.
As if there's any ambiguity now. Yeah.
My auntie used to come round and that and stay, right? And I'm sat on the floor watching the telly, right? She's sat on the sofa with a caftan on. I turn round, right, and it was there.
It was looking back
at me, right? And we've mentioned this, and I just briefly sort of said, what did it look like? And, you know, a split tennis ball came to mind. That's what we talked about, right? So anyway, Zoo magazine, when they did the interview...
And she's the one that used to put a valance on everything, isn't it?
Well, not everything, obviously. So anyway, so I've done this...
So you did interview in Zoo?
Yeah, and like they said, you know, do you... Again, it was like, you know, do you plan stuff and do you worry about stuff when, after you've done the show, you're worried you've upset anyone? And, you know, I was saying, really, I forget people are listening. And, you know, we're just having a chat with mates and that. I said, but now and again, I do worry, when I'm on my way home from the show and that, and I'm thinking about what we've talked about. And I was saying, you know, the Auntie Nora incident.
Yeah.
You know,
Incident! That's Watergate!
Yeah.
and anyway, so this was in there, right? And I was saying in the magazine, you know, but I think I got away with it. She doesn't listen to the show, but, you know, and I don't think she reads Zoo magazine, so...
She's more of a nuts woman. Sure, yeah.
So, anyway, so my mum calls up the other week, right, and she goes, wish you wouldn't, you know, talk about Auntie Nora and that. And, I was like, oh, so how do you know about that? She goes, well, one of your cousins have called us up and said they've read the article about it. So, yeah, that's why we don't want to talk about it, really.
So he stitched you up.
So do you know what Auntie X has made of this? Do you know if she was upset or not?
Well, she doesn't know about it.
Because, I mean, maybe she's always thought it looked like a split tennis ball. Maybe you're just in sync, you know, because you're relatives and stuff. Maybe she knew instantly. Even if you hadn't named her, she'd have thought, hang on, I farted for 5 minutes once.
Yeah, that's not going to be ambiguous,
well
is it?
be me.
If you hear that, like, someone who farted for 5 minutes and's got found like a split tennis ball, you're going to go, I wonder if he means me.
Yeah.
You're going to remember
Or
that.
Auntie Jackie. It could be Auntie Jackie.
Oh, God. And he got in trouble, you know, last week when he was going to the wedding.
Let's talk about that a bit.
Okay. Yeah.
Got a cure?
I love it. In between days. XFM 104.9.
A lot of people are sort of emailing in sort of brainy stuff.
Brilliant.
And getting a lot of stuff about philosophy
Oh, yeah.
and all that. Descartes, that's another one that's mentioned on an email.
Descartes,
Yeah.
the French philosopher.
Yeah.
What's your question?
Well, he sort of cropped up on an email. Someone said, what do you think of him? And I was like, oh, I don't know.
He famously he pondered his own existence. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. He was thinking about that. He was thinking, how do I know all this is true, everything around me? And he thought, well, I can see it and I can smell it and I can hear it. And he went, oh yeah, my senses can be fooled. I could be dreaming. But if I'm dreaming, then at least I'm alive. At least I have some sort of consciousness. So if I'm even thinking about anything, you know, I exist. I think, therefore I am. Cogito ergo sum.
But we don't need to know the Latin bit. Why is everyone always going back to Latin? It was ages ago. Why is that language always being... And were Latin people always in a rush? Because they seem to be like words for full sentences. Why couldn't they just take the time and say what they want to say? And it's just like, what was the rush?
To teach Latin.
What about Plato?
Right, Greek.
Right, now, would you say he's a bright bloke?
Yes, I would. I'd say he's a very, very bright bloke.
Right, let me tell you this. Right, if he's that bright, you know how he got killed?
No.
Got hit on the head by an egg.
Fucking hell! Well, he's not so clever then, is he?
That's what I'm saying.
Boo!
What's the story with the egg?
He was on holiday or something, right? And
He was on holiday.
In Greece, probably.
he was having a walkabout, and a bird was flying over the sort of.
This
over the
bird
beach.
was what? A great auk? What size bird killed him with his egg?
It was a big one, yeah.
Was it?
And the way they used to crack...
An ostrich on a hang glider.
The way they used to crack the eggs open to let the kids out, they used to drop them on rocks.
What bird is this? Dropping its egg to let the kids out? You are a maniac! You are a maniac!
And Plato had a little bald head.
Right.
So from the top, the bird's there looking down, and it goes, oh, there's a little rock, I'll drop the egg. Hit him on the head, killed him. Now, this is what I was saying before about...
I'm letting too much go now, because I'm so desensitised to his nonsense. I let him go. The bird saw Plato and said, there's a rock down there.
Yeah. Well, if these birds are killing people with bald heads, you've got to be terrified.
So, but listen, this is what I'm saying though, right? Before about knowledge and that, how knowledge is hassle, or success is hassle.
I think that was Newton. Knowledge is hassle.
Now, but why is Plato's intelligence got anything to do with the fact that this bird dropped an egg on his head?
Because he was intelligent, and he's probably earning a nice few quid
Yeah.
by giving out whatever messages he gave out.
Yeah.
He could afford to go on holiday to exotic places. If he was working in a factory, he wouldn't have been on this beach with big birds dropping eggs, is what I'm saying. So, in a way, it backfired. His knowledge killed him.
And that, I think, was Kierkegaard. His knowledge killed him.
He shouldn't have been on the beach. He was only there having a break or whatever from doing what he does. It wouldn't have happened if he wasn't on holiday.
This is an email we've had saying, Karl, what do you take by the well-known saying, a stitch in time saves 9?
Oh, a stitch in time saves 9. Yeah.
See, it's another one that I don't think I've picked up on a lot of these sayings that are being sort of thrown about willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly.
Willy-nilly. Okay.
Willy-nilly.
No, but I again, it's one of them like last week. I've heard of it, but
what does willy-nilly mean?
It just sort of means, carefree.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, but
that's
what
good.
does a stitch in time
So
save 9
you
mean?
understood willy-nilly, so you used a
Yeah, but it
phrase.
sounds
you
nice,
used
doesn't
it,
it?
you said it willy-nilly, but you sort of got the gist of it. So what does a stitch in time saves 9 mean?
I don't know.
What do you
must
mean you
know.
don't know? Think about it. A stitch in time saves 9.
Is it to do with sewing?
Well, yeah, sort of. So
It's not that clear.
So if you got a jacket,
Yeah.
and the seam starts coming undone, oh, there's a little bit of seam. I'll leave it. Oh, it's getting worse and
Right,
worse. Soon
right.
your sleeve falls off. So you just need 1 stitch there. That'll do it. If you do it now, later you'll need 9 stitches, and that, of course, is an analogy to other things.
But it depends if you're busy at that point, because if you've got something else that needs doing, that means that isn't being done because you're messing about sorting out a hole in your coat. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
You can't always do stuff straight away. So maybe, I don't know if there's a sort of a middle ground where you don't have to do it straight away, but stitching
A stitch sometimes
time,
today.
say in 15 or whatever, meaning you don't have to do it straight away, but just do it before it gets really bad.
Brilliant. Do you think yours is less poetic than a stitch in time saves 9? So yours is, this is what you want it to be a quote, right? Well, you could do it now, but if you're doing something else, then, don't do it immediately, but do it soon so it doesn't get really bad. Karl Pilkington.
No, but it's the same. That's the same way I treat most things in life. It's like I never go to the doctors unless it's really
That is sensible.
bad.
That is very good advice.
No.
That's brilliant advice
Well,
for
it is,
anyone
though.
listening. Never go to the doctors.
Unless it's really bad.
But that's why a lot of people, die because they don't want to bother the doctor, or they're mildly embarrassed, or they don't know symptoms, bad symptoms. Go to the doctor if you're not sure about something. Like you were terrified to go and have your prostate.
Still not doing it.
Why not?
I wish you wouldn't talk about it, because now Suzanne will listen to this and she'll go, oh yeah, you haven't been, and start dragging it up again.
But why are you worried about a qualified
I
doctor?
don't know what they're doing up there.
What they
What
just
year
pop
are we in?
They what are you talking about? They pop their finger up.
That's what I mean, though.
Why?
Why are they still using the index finger?
What, would you prefer the forefinger or the thumb, would
No.
you?
No, what I mean is, we've got...
Or a thumb on a stick, some kind of thumb on a stick.
Yeah, would you prefer it to
A
be
mechanical thumb, a robot thumb.
Why isn't it just a little camera?
Well, they put the camera up if they initially discover something.
But just put the camera up straight away. If I'm
No,
paying
they
for
don't
the
need
visit.
to. They pop the finger up, feel that the prostate isn't swollen, wiggle it around a little bit up your back passage. What are you worried about?
I don't think they need to do
Are
that.
you
in this
embarrassed?
day
Are
and
you
age.
embarrassed about being in a room with your trousers around your ankles and a little fella
A
popping his...
little bit, yeah.
Why?
And the other thing is, it's not just that, is it? So you go in there, they check your heart out and that, which to me is the most important thing, because that's what keeps you going, isn't it?
Yeah.
You've got to go there. You
Yeah.
sat on the bus stressing out, thinking, oh, in less than half an hour I'm going to have a finger up the arse, right?
What is the problem?
And they go in, they check your heart, they probably check your testicles and that.
What's up with that? They take your testicles, yeah? That's...
Yeah, but it's all building, and you've sat there going, oh, soon that'll be happening.
Yeah.
And that's what puts me off.
So if they just came round when you were asleep, Suzanne just let them in and goes, he's over there, right?
Yeah.
And they crept up and went, bang. You go, what are you
prefer
doing?
that?
I just don't understand why they don't teach you how to do it yourself.
How can they?
Wow.
How can they teach? Imagine you squatting in a corner with one hand on your bollocks and the other finger up the arse going, it seems to be all right.
Carl, you don't understand the phrase "a stitch in time saves nine." I don't think you should be doing any kind of invasive medical research in your own human body.
But then
Who knows what trouble you're going to cause?
No, but then at least
You would get stuck.
Yeah.
You would get stuck.
Susanna come out, your fist would be up your own arse. Okay, I think it's probably time. Let me just check my watch. Yeah, it's monkey news time.
Oh, chimpanzee that monkey news, yeah.
So this week, anyway, it's more about tall buildings and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It was this bloke who was a builder.
Oh yeah.
Right? And you know what builders are like? They sort of move about, don't they, from sort of building to building, just building.
Well, yeah, well, once they built it, the building's done and they move on to
Move
build
back
some
from
more.
building to building, just
Where-
building, yeah.
So he goes to his next job and that, right?
Who does, the builder?
The builder.
Yep.
He goes to like the
The
boss,
new building.
the boss of this building, who's building it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. And he says what unto him?
Do you need anything building?
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he says, yeah, there's plenty of work and that going about.
Yep.
He said, we're working on this one here. He said, get going on it, like, there's your bricks and your cement and stuff, get on with it.
Yeah.
Any plans?
So this,
Just build.
Just start building.
Yeah. Go up.
they're getting on with it and stuff, it's all going well.
Yep.
But he notices that there's someone working high up, right, on the
Okay.
top bit. So anyway, he's saying to like the other workers, he's going, who's that up there?
Who's that up
Like,
there?
He's working on his own.
The little fella, was he?
And,
The little hairy fella up there.
Who's
he's
the little
saying.
hairy fella up there with the hard hat?
and the other fellows are going, look, don't ask questions, the boss decides who he takes on. We're happy to be getting paid here.
Don't ask questions! Well, I'll see him when he comes down.
So he said, well, it's pretty impressive, the work rate he's doing, the way he's getting from one girder to the other.
Swinging, is he?
He doesn't seem to be scared of the heights or anything. He said, no, just let him get on with it, we work well as a team. So anyway,
What nonsense is
So-
this?
so-
He believes all this.
Yep.
so he sees the boss and he goes, that fella up there, who's the fella up there? He's pretty good. And he's like, look, just get on with the job, I'll pay you. Let's just all get on with our jobs and that. Lunchtime comes, they're all sat on a little wall having the sandwiches. He's thinking he'll come down in a bit. He's just carrying on.
Is he just still going?
Still going on that, right? So the fella says to the boss man, he says, isn't that fella up there going to come down and join us for lunch? He said, like I said, mate, don't worry about him, right? He
He's very secretive. I'm suspicious about this fella. I don't know.
Yeah,
why,
I don't know.
I don't know why he's working through his lunch. I don't know why he's not scared of heights. And I don't know why he's swinging from girder to girder. It's weird. Go on.
So he said, oh, anyway, you've reminded me that he's up there. He said he's doing a lot of riveting and stuff up there. He probably needs some more nuts to...
Right, sure. And what kind of nuts is that? Is that nuts to food or...?
So he said, what, nuts? He said, yeah, just there's a bag full of them there. Just put them on the hook, send them up, and he can get on with his job. So anyway, he picks these nuts up.
Nuts,
right?
yep.
Just hooks them on. He thinks they're not that heavy,
No.
considering, they're normally pretty heavy, aren't they? Like nuts
big
and
bag of
bolts and
nuts,
stuff. So anyway, he has a little glance in.
Oh, no, what's in there?
Nuts.
What, you mean nuts that you can eat?
Nuts that you can eat.
Oh.
Right? So they send the bag up and he's thinking, what's all that about? He checks him out, starts to stare, works it out. You can see that he's a little chimp running about. So he goes, I'm not happy with this.
Why
So-
isn't he?
Because he's working for an organisation that's, there's unions for this sort of stuff, isn't there?
Yeah, he's not going, that's amazing. They've got a chimp riveting this building together.
Yeah.
That's not scary. He's wondering if they're breaking union rules.
So he
You
goes,
don't have to talk
So he
some
goes
shit,
and has a
man.
word with
he
the
goes
boss.
to the boss and he goes, look, I've worked out what you're playing at here.
Yeah.
He said, oh, them out
Is the
there.
boss sitting in a tyre?
So he goes, look, we just all try to earn a living here. He said, don't get involved in it. I'm happy to pay you, but I'm paying him. Don't interfere.
He's paying him.
And he's saying, look, I'm just not happy with this. It's not allowed. So the boss was saying, well,
We
to
pay
be honest,
peanuts, we get monkeys.
mate, he said, to be honest, mate, you know, he's a great worker. He's known for doing what he does. He's a good grafter. If one of you's going to go, right, I'm afraid I'll have to let you go because he's been here longer than that.
Yeah.
He was made redundant.
None of
because
that
the monkey-
happened.
He was laid off.
None of that happened.
He's laid off from that, and that's
No.
where that saying about, you know, like there's a lot of tower blocks and that in America. It's like the chimp off the old block is where. So that's monkey news.
Well, that's one thing. He's negative, right? I don't know why. I don't know why he is. What else?
He messes me about. I get him concert tickets for stuff, and you say, "Oh, I didn't bother going."
Yeah.
Yeah, that is annoying.
You come in, you know, 5 minutes to go with tracks that need editing.
Yeah. The little bag, that bag that was free.
Yeah, you got a free bag today, an XFM little rucksack thing.
Yeah.
You were like, "Oh, what's this? What's this rubbish?"
Yeah.
Ricky said, "I'll have it. They're great." You said, "No, I want it."
Yeah.
Well, it was
So-
free. I needed.
Yeah.
I'll give that as a gift or something.
So, I mean, I think on reflection, Steve is probably a little bit more annoying than me.
I won't go that far. You are annoying. If I had to go away for a week somewhere, if it was a quiet place,
Well, you are again, aren't you? That's 2 holidays you had this week. This year, I mean.
if it was a busy place, I'd probably go with you because people, do you know what I mean, staring at me all the time and that if I'm walking around with Steve. No, I'm just
Can I draw up a list of reasons I don't like you, Karl?
being honest.
Well, I'll tell you, because the list of reasons I don't like you is incredibly long and getting longer.
Just saying.
Want another slap?
There's a star. Ash, XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Carl Pilkington. Carl. Alright, let's start again. Yeah? I'm gonna be the same, but let's start again. So, what I mean is stop being grumpy, and let me carry on being annoying. Because Steve's not gonna change. He's not gonna suddenly start going, you know what, Carl? I think your ideas are really good. Do you know what I mean? Oh. Remember when he came up with that idea, that game show idea?
Oh.
And you went, well, it's not an idea, Carl. And he came to me and said, oh, I've had it with Steve. What's it? He went, how did The Office ever get on telly?
Well, what was the idea again, in summary?
I don't want to talk about it on air because someone will nick it.
No, they won't.
They will. Donald McIntyre's already got Cheap as Chimps. I bet they're in the making of Rockbusters as we speak.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to tell you any more
I
about
reckon
it. but
Bob
it's a good
Oldness
idea.
is probably nicking that idea.
Exactly.
Well,
Cheeky little. Right.
songs of phrase coming soon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, what is it this week? What's the phrase?
We're, remember the story I told you ages ago about my neighbour having a horse in their house?
Oh, yeah.
Having a horse, a horse.
What's happened with that? Lenny Henry doing it as a series?
So,
And people nicking your ideas left, right and centre.
well, that's the phrase we'll be using anyway.
What?
My neighbour had a horse in her house.
How many words is that?
6.
My neighbour had... So, there's no grammar either. My neighbour had horse in house. My neighbour had horse in house. What is... Right, what is the phrase?
My neighbour had a horse in her house.
Are there any
Let's wait till we
prepositions?
hear
Are
it.
there any prepositions in this sentence?
Look, don't judge it beforehand. You see, I'm
Okay.
turning over a new leaf. I think this is a great idea. I think Karl's a genius, and I look forward to hearing this enormously.
Yeah, okay, and I won't be sick on your leg, or squeeze your head, or make you jump when you're making a cup of tea.
Just looking through the
That
Guinness
is
Book
still
of
the funniest thing, isn't it? Squeaking at someone when they got a cup of tea. Right.
There are a lot of what strike me as seemingly pointless feats.
The Guinness Book of Records is right. The Guinness Book of Records is great. I used to love it as a kid. I've had about 10 copies in my life. The last one I bought a couple of years ago, present. It was really good. I love it. I love the real record. Tallest, fattest, thinnest, best, fastest, most expensive, biggest, and all that. But the ones that really annoy me are the ones that the reason these people are in there for it are the only people that tried.
What, yeah.
Balancing the milk bottle on your head.
Most watches eaten. I just found that one. Kim Sung-do from South Korea ate 5 watches, the entire watch with the exception of the wristband, in a time of 1 hour 34 minutes. What do you make of that, Karl?
Made him regular. Come on.
How did they time him?
Most live rattlesnakes held in the mouth. 8 live rattlesnakes held by, it just says an idiot.
Yeah, this gives me an idea, Carl.
Talking of idiots.
Do you want to get into Guinness Book of Records?
Carl, come on,
Come
that'd be
on.
brilliant.
Well, there's things in there that are just absolutely anyone could do. Like that one in Big Brother, I was watching it, and it was balancing sugar lumps. I want to know how many people try that. If there's schools around Britain going, listen, we've got to get in the sugar lump award. It's grassroots level. There's not enough kids balancing sugar lumps. How can we compete in the world market?
I was looking at it last night, and there was one about the farthest that a dog swam. I think it was something like 9 miles, but it had no choice, did it? Do you know what I mean? He took it out to Atlantic or something, and so it didn't want to do
Threw
it.
it in the water.
Yeah. So it's not alright to put it in a bin bag and chuck it in a canal, but, oh, it's for a world record.
Yeah.
9 miles it did.
Oh God.
Possible ones that you could do, Carl.
What's the most Forrest Gumps fitted in one wheelie bin?
What about this one for you, Carl? The record stands at the moment for most arrows caught by hand, but that's quite tricky. So what about most arrows caught by head?
Yeah.
And you would just fire arrows at your head.
They would. They would just skim off him.
Do you think so?
Yeah, the roundness. It would never actually get any sort of, connection.
Fastest human crab. Could you do that?
I'll do that.
Can you
What-
form the crab?
Can you do that?
What's that?
You just like go bending over backwards and
No, I
running.
can't do
No.
Got a bad
Right,
back.
what about
What would you be good at?
what about hamburger stuffing?
Oh,
Alright.
right, Carl. Alright. In the mouth, you mean?
Well, it says the record for stuffing the most regulation-sized hamburgers, including buns, in the mouth at one time is how many? How many hamburgers with buns in
So
the mouth?
this is just...
You're not swallowing anything, you've just got stuffing in your
Carl,
mouth.
you'd be so good at this because your shape of your head. You've got a shape. Its head's just like Hamburglar. You'd be good at this, man.
Yeah.
Honestly, you'd be perfect. You look like Zippy.
And the great thing is your head's empty, so you could get more in there. Do you know what I mean? This guy had a brain to
do
contend
that.
with.
Do that. What is it? Is it possible? Is it
Well,
mental?
how many do you think it was? There were
I don't
3
know.
burgers in buns. What do you reckon, Carl?
What, how quick he ate them?
He didn't eat them, it's just how many he can stuff in his face. So literally hold them within his cheeks and his mouth, but don't swallow anything.
So what, how many burgers?
How many burgers did he manage to get into his face?
So it's a fella, it's not
Yes?
about 5?
No, 3. It's the
3?
world record. 3 is
How
the world
big are
record.
they, though?
It just says regulation size.
So we could go to McDonald's or Burger King and get just hamburgers, and that would count.
just the regular burgers, and we'll just stuff
It
them
won't
in
count.
there.
We got to get Norris McWhirter.
Well, we could practice it now, and then if you're triumphant, if
Come
you
on,
get
Carl.
4 in there,
I don't, you know, I've got a small throat and that.
Well, you don't
I
have
used
to swallow them,
choke
that's
a
the
lot.
great thing.
Yeah, but I don't like it. As a kid, I'm choking on stuff and I get funny about it.
Just keep your tongue at the back of your mouth, and we'll stuff the hamburgers in.
No, I don't.
Oh, come on! Do something!
Carl, that is Dynamite Radio.
Well, Steve will go and get the hamburgers.
Have I got to pay for them?
No, Carl, give us
I'm
the
not
money.
paying for that.
Oh,
I've
come
just
on!
spent 25 quid in total on a video on a Guinness Book of Records. That's costing me another 4 quid. I'm not doing no, I'm not doing
come on,
it.
come
No, I
on,
don't
give us the
wanna
money.
do that.
You're
It's-
playing
it's
back.
too- no, I don't
Andrew,
wanna do it.
oh, come on!
I'm not doing it.
Come on, do it. It's an interesting thing. Come on.
You could be in the Guinness Book of Records, Carl.
No, leave it.
See if we can. Oh, please. Phone in if you want Carl
No,
to eat burgers. You don't have to swallow them. You can spit it all out. You can be sick on my leg after. Oh, come on.
no, 'cause I don't like the stretching thing either.
Don't stretch it. You
It
can
will stretch. I'll be like the little bloody dog on the Winston Churchill ad.
Don't swear.
Well, I'm just saying,
on
though,
air.
I know, but
we
it's like-
apologise to the radio authority. Carl is not only swearing, but he's refusing to do things
Oh.
we come up with.
But the radio authority will be happy with me stuffing 3 burgers in my face.
God,
I'm
look.
not doing it.
Yeah, we will.
No,
We're going.
leave it.
Well, I'm gonna go to-
I'll give you the money.
Can we do
Please,
songs of phrase or something?
No, let's
No,
do it.
right. Play record. Play record. He's gonna go. You're gonna do it, Carl, or you're fired.
No, actually, he wants that.
No, you're gonna do it. Do it. Please do it. It'd be great. Honestly, please do it.
What about
Please.
chicken McNuggets? Meet halfway.
No, there's no record for Chicken McNuggets.
Well.
Mental.
So I'm not doing it, Steve. So.
You are. Steve,
Hello.
can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah. Where are you?
I'm in one of the capital's many burger joints. I'm just about to go up now and order some burgers.
Where are you? Where are you in?
I'm in McDonald's in Leicester Square.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
What are you getting? Just get
Hang on a sec, yeah.
get
Hello
too
there. I
many.
need to order 5 regular hamburgers, please. If that's all right. Sorry. 5 hamburgers, yes. You're probably wondering why I'm ordering only 5 hamburgers, aren't you? And let me tell you why. My friend is going to try and break the world record for putting burgers into his fat, stupid face. What do you make of that? Exciting?
Yeah.
Do you wish him good luck?
Yeah.
What's your name? Tyre. Tyre? Yeah. Oh, thank you very much, Tyre. I'll try and get Tyre to wish you good luck in a minute, Carl. The coming shortly.
Five should be enough.
The world record is what? 3?
3, yeah.
Okay, good. I don't know what. Oh, here we go. How much is that? 3.45.
3.45 for 5 hamburgers.
It's good, isn't it? It's good value.
It is really, isn't it?
Really, yeah. I mean, if there's anyone from from McDonald's listening, they probably want to give us some free stuff, I would have thought. I would have thought, Rick. You just wish my friend good luck before he's just on the end of the line there. Just say good luck, Carl.
Good luck.
Alright then.
There you are. That's the people from McDonald's wishing you good luck. Carl, I'll be back shortly with the burgers.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Do you want the pickles left in?